Carl Seth. We're at Tad Smith Coliseum in Oxford, Mississippi, affectionately known as the Tad Pad, where we're almost set for liftoff. Kentucky in desperate need of a quality road win. And not only do they take on Marshall Henderson, the SEC's top scorer, but he's also the conference animation sensation. And we welcome you to part 2 of Super Tuesday, the SEC on ESPN. And our matchup tonight, Kentucky taking on number 16 Ole Miss. And in 112 previous meetings, only the second time that Ole Miss has been ranked and Kentucky not in this matchup. You take a look at the standings. Here's the reason why. 17-2 is the best start in school history. 6-0 start, also the best in the SEC for Ole Miss in their basketball history. Florida and Ole Miss get together on Saturday night. Welcome, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Jimmy Dykes. It's an important week for both these schools. Kentucky on the road, they got to get one. Now they've got a ranked opponent.
Huge opportunity for Kentucky, Brad Nessler. You think about right now the Wildcats with 0 top 50 RPI wins. They only have 4 opportunities left on their schedule. This is one of them. What are they up against tonight? I talked with Marshall Henderson during pregame warm-ups, and he told me if he could play this game tonight with half of his face painted red, the other half painted blue, he would. He was going to dye his hair, but he ran out of time. That's what Kentucky's up against.
All right, let's talk about him. Let's take a closer look at Marshall Henderson of Ole Miss with FaceTime Profile brought to you by Edward Jones. Sensational high school career. He went on to Utah. He was a starter there, averaged almost 12 points a game as a freshman. Then it continued, Jimmy.
Well, at Texas Tech, he redshirted the transfer year, and Pat Knight told me last night he absolutely tore them up every day on the scout team. Then he transfers to South Plains Junior College, and what did he do? National Junior College Player of the Year last year, and then transitioned very smoothly to Ole Miss, where he leads the conference in scoring. Ole Miss needed a shot of energy and some juice. They got it with Marshall Henderson.
And third member of our team's got more. Here's Shannon.
Well, Brad, Marshall Henderson, no doubt the one player in the country who's pushing the limits of personality and edginess in college basketball. When I spoke with him earlier today, he was the first to admit he is not like everyone else.
Well, I come to Ole Miss and a little different kind of dude than these, fraternity guys walking around. They're awesome, they're great, but I just don't wear the same clothes, and I talk a little different. Got a little bit of slang in me.
Brad, Jimmy, another word Henderson used to describe himself: winner, personality, and a ton of confidence.
And a brand new haircut, a little bit of a mohawk working. John Calipari, coach of the defending national champions. They're 13-6. They're 4-2 in conference play, and they need a win over a quality opponent, which is what Ole Miss is right now. Ole Miss in the preseason SEC poll picked 7th. And Andy Kennedy in his 7th year, just a couple wins shy of being the all-time school leader in victories here as a head coach. Joe Lindsey's got the ball in hand. Michael Roberts and Jim Burr, our other 2 officials. Here we go in one of the biggest games Ole Miss has played on their home floor in a long time.
Ole Miss, a defensive club, Brad, man-to-man and 2-3 zone, and they've been very good with their 2-point defense. Can they keep Kentucky out of the lane?
And already Ryan Harrell with a little shove on Jarvis Summers, trying to guard him. On the floor, those are your starters for Ole Miss and Kentucky, respectively. Poitras coming off his best game, maybe, of his Kentucky career. Almost an air ball by Julius Mays, pulled off the backside by Ole Miss. And ahead to Ladarius White. White cut off on the baseline. We'll bring it back on top to Holloway. Here's the first touch for Henderson. Got his man in the air. Drew his foul. Poitras left his feet.
First possession, Kentucky switching out on Marshall Henderson. On every action, 3 different guys tagged Henderson the first time Ole Miss has the ball.
Marshall Henderson at the free throw line. Top free throw shooter in the conference. This is his most recent tweet. Game against Kentucky, 8 on ESPN tonight. Waited for this all my life, this opportunity. Well, he certainly was loose at the shoot-around. Let's put it that way. And remember, he threw this up from outside the arc, drawing the foul. So it's a 3 free throw attempt to open up the ball game.
One of the many retweets that I did today, courtesy of Marshall Henderson.
Well, he got 2 of 3. Nice overplay defensively. Noel does come up with the ball. Got it to Poitras. Poitras, and he threw it down.
Well, he's coming off of a huge game. Poitras is. He has played harder the last 3 days in practice than he has all season.
Henderson 3, a little bit short. Poitras, Jimmy said 20 points, career high 12 rebounds in the win over LSU over the weekend. Nerlens Noel down in the low block. Looking for a hook shot. He'll kick it out. Three-pointer no good by Goodwin.
Ole Miss will live that shot all night long. Goodwin shooting 7% from the 3.
White got ahead of the crowd. No transition defense by Kentucky.
Boy, when you miss a shot, if you're not on the boards and you're not getting back, where the heck are you?
Mays, tough catch here. Might have had a wide open shot.
You don't shoot a bad pass, and Mays had great discipline not to do it.
And got a foul on Poitras.
Brad, the shot win, and Ole Miss, one of the better rebounding clubs in the country. 2 guys that can just clean up all the misses. And look, again, Kentucky doesn't get on the offensive glass, and they don't get their rear ends to the defensive board.
Poitras
no man's land.
Didn't get back there on defense. Already had a foul. He goes down on the other end and picks up his second. Couldn't be a worse start for John Calipari as far as number 22 having to sit now. Henderson. And Noel gets tangled up with Reginald Buckner.
Nerlens Noel is always in terrific defensive rebounding position because he plays behind on the post. And the terrific shot blockers in the college game, and his position defense is growing game by game.
Wilcher in the lineup now. Would have been off the bench quickly anyway, but especially with Poitras now with 2 fouls. Here's a steal. White trying to find a handle, and he's fouled out near midcourt by Goodwin. 13th foul on Kentucky already. White on the drive, going to throw one up, going to have a blocking foul before the shot, I think, on Julius Mays. Four fouls already in the opening 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Calipari has problems because Julius Mays has not been able to defend off the bounce so far in this game. Poitras, same scenario.
There's the first block of the night by Nerlens Noel.
That will not work. You have to make shots outside the box against Kentucky.
Welcher rims out a 3. Battle for the rebound. Run underneath by Harrell. One of the smallest guys on the floor comes up with a loose ball rebound and ties it at 4. Way up over Noel. That's what he does when he isn't blocking shots. He alters the other ones. Kentucky with a chance to lead this trip. Goodwin leaves it. Harrell missed. And the rebound comes off the Buckner.
Marshall Henderson shoots once every 2 minutes that he's on the floor. It's about his time.
Underneath. Again, Noel just puts his hands in the air, and Buckner lost the handle. And Goodwin's bumped en route to the basket.
Brad, you have to keep Kentucky out of the pro lane line. If they bounce the ball inside that area, that's when they're at their best, whether it's in transition or half court. And Goodwin is off to a hot start attacking the rim. Watch Nerlens Noel. He waits, he stays down in a defensive stance, and then gets it up top. And then about the next possession later, he alters one, and Kentucky now really concentrated the last couple of practices on cleaning up those missed opportunities that Nerlens Noel alters around the rim.
Kentucky with the free throw takes its first lead. Nick Williams comes in. Henderson goes out. That's 84 blocks. You compare that to Anthony Davis last year, 186 en route to the national championship. Goodwin got them both. 2-point Kentucky lead.
Kentucky will go zone with Marshall Henderson on the bench, and that's exactly what they go to. He's taken over half of their three-point shots, so this is a club now that you throw a zone defense on.
Ole Miss only gets 49% of their points from two-point land. That is a two-point shot, and it's no good. Noel sort of tips it to himself. Number 2 rebounder in the conference. Mays, 3. Got his own miss. And now looking for help in the corner. Noel's going straight to the baseline, and then the hook shot. Nice job by Holloway playing the baseline to not let him get that offensive rebound. Back to 3.
No hesitation by Ladarius White. 17 points at Auburn on Saturday. The rim looks big to Ladarius White right now.
And Goodwin palmed it. Kentucky turns it over. Only 2 points from the free throw line, 0 for 2 from the field, but his team's in front with 15-15 to go first half. Ole Miss by 1.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy. What will you do in 5 hours? And Edward Jones, where FaceTime and ThinkTime make a difference.
That was the scene about 4:30 local time this afternoon outside Tad Smith Coliseum. They were lining up. They let the students in early. They had a music video they were filming. It's a big night, packed house. Morgan Freeman in the house. One of Jimmy and my favorite, and Shannon's as well. He was at the shoot-around earlier on this afternoon.
Talked to the Ole Miss team after the shoot-around.
Yeah. And I'm sure Ashley Judd is watching tonight. Her team, Kentucky. One of the great movies ever, Kiss the Girls, where they were the 2 stars. We were hoping Ashley was going to be here tonight, too.
She said that we would have an in with Morgan Freeman if we told him that we're buddies with her. That's what she told me last night. I haven't got a chance to go over there and test that theory.
There's Noel's second block shot, and he tips it right to Wilcher. Good one on the drive. Stripped by White. Nice defensive play by Ladarius White. Backing in. Leaning back. Jumper no good by Summers. And Noel clears it off. Collision between Mays and Summers. And Mays picks up the foul. And that's the second on Mays. Now, Poitras already on the bench with 2 fouls. So Kentucky's got some issues right now.
Yeah, without Willie Cauley-Stein available tonight, the bench is still short. Watch Summers, and he just gets ran smooth over by Julius Mays, and that's the proper call. On the ball or off the ball, he's entitled to his spot.
Those 2 guys each with 2 fouls of the 5 team fouls already. And we've still got 14 and a half to go in the first half. And now another foul. This one on Harrell.
Well, Brad, Ole Miss very determined to drive this basketball right at the hip of every Kentucky defender.
The first thing I see about Ole Miss seeing them in person, they are cat quick.
Yeah, and physically strong, tough kids.
Hook shot. This one Noel didn't get, but he may have altered it a little bit by Aaron Jones. Good one coming the other way, and Jones is going to get it back. Back-to-back turnovers suffered by the Wildcats.
Better tag Henderson right now.
Wilcher's on him, and that's a mismatch as far as speed, that's for sure. A runner by Williams. Jared Paulson in the lineup with the rebound. Wilcher almost walked with it, and now has it stripped from behind, but we're going to have a foul on Ole Miss.
Yeah, Wilcher drug that foot. There's a 1-2 stop with his pivot foot. And the officials missed it. Right here, watch. Boom. That is a walk.
I'm not sure if Henderson threw the ball into the backcourt, but Joe Lindsey came out and made him pick the ball up and walk it back into Kentucky's front court and hand it back to the official.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
And if Henderson was frustrated and called the ball to go to the backcourt, Joe Lindsey told Jim Byrne, no, sir, make him go get it. Maybe a little message sent from the officials to Henderson.
So. Polson draws a double team and picked up his dribble. Harrow found an avenue, then it had stripped away. Wiltshire is going to take the jumper and got it.
Wiltshire is the dangerous guy in that on-ball screening action. I'm surprised at Ole Miss going over the top of the on-ball of Ryan Harrow. Go under him. He cannot beat you making jump shots.
Derek Millinghouse in at point guard. The left-hander goes down on the baseline. And a foul on Wiltshire, or the shot would have been blocked by Noel. Let's take you back to that stoppage in play when Joe Lindsey came out and made sure that Marshall Henderson, okay, he's going to, oh, he just spotted the ball in the backcourt. And instead of handing it to the official, Joe Lindsey came up and said to Jim Burr, wait a minute, make him go pick it up.
I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
Preventive officiating, I don't know what you call it. Marshall Henderson, he's only been teed one time this year. That was out in Hawaii, he told me yesterday. So as much on the edge that he is, he's maintained his composure for the most part within the games.
Of course, there was the much talked about and much YouTube ending to the Auburn game where he hit the last couple of free throws and he just drew a foul from Harrow, and Harrow's got two. And Kentucky has put Ole Miss in the bonus with 13-17 to go in the half.
Ole Miss with their 2-2-1 press, and they will drop to a 2-3, but Marshall Henderson, it's the push-off, it's the extended arm of Ryan Harrow right there that gets it. That's an easy call to make.
Kentucky's got 3 offensive fouls already tonight. And a few things have been thrown on the floor, one of which Marshall Henderson just threw back up into the crowd.
It makes no sense. The call goes in favor of Ole Miss, and the Ole Miss student section throws stuff on the floor.
And now here's Henderson picking up, I guess, some ice. And that was a fastball going back into the student section. And one of his teammates comes over, Nick Williams, and says, all right, let's start all over here.
Well, the official sent him a message, and he sent a message to the student section.
Just hope he didn't send one right into somebody's forehead. We expected a lot of emotion in the building tonight. We already have it. Henderson got away for a 3. Got it. Nope. In and out. Was halfway down, looking for his own rebound, and he's fouled by Polson.
Marshall Henderson will Reggie Miller cut you. Stick his head under the rim and then pop. And he has a burst when he pops into the shot. Watch. Sticks his head under the rim. Bam. Now go. And he really moves well, Brad, in different speeds in terms of getting himself into a shot spot.
So Poitras comes back in. Kentucky's running out of guys. They have to play him with 13:08 to go, playing with 2 fouls. And it's free throw shooting time for the Rebels. His only points, Henderson's from the free throw line, but shooting 87% coming in, with which was topped in the conference. This time he gets both. 4 for him. Ole Miss lead is 2 again. Is this on Poitras? No. It's on Buckner. He's got 2.
Kentucky hasn't made Henderson guard yet in this game. Right now he's checking Mays, and it's another way to get into a shooter.
Wiltshire trying to drive the baseline, draws a double team, but with the left hand, a nice move underneath by Kyle Wiltshire.
That was a great stop by Kyle Wiltshire.
Had two guys on him and made something out of it and tied it at 10.
The stop created the separation.
Henderson with his left hand.
And he will wear you out running across that baseline for 40 minutes. And they run him off multiple screens, and if you switch out or you trail, he will curl.
Rebound off the miss by Holloway. Holloway just a couple of rebounds away from the school record right now. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney. Season-long spotlight on the games that will impact the tournament Saturday. Trey Burke leads the top-ranked Wolverines against Cody Zeller. Number 3, Indiana. Michigan, Indiana, Saturday, 9 o'clock on ESPN and also live on Watch ESPN. 2-point lead here for Ole Miss with just over 12 minutes to go.
Two teams in my preseason Final Four. Michigan, Indiana, along with Louisville and NC State. Those were my 4 to start with.
Nice drive by Millhouse. Just didn't finish. Here's Poitras coming the other way. Got to be careful for an offensive foul, but he's fouled himself by Nick Williams. Ole Miss by 2, 11:53 remaining. Coming up when we come back, we'll go back to the last visit from the Wildcats. This is a view from the eyes of Cameron Cook. Why is there a rebel yell? Find out when we come back.
Take a look at the other games going on right now. One of them involves a soccer match. That's the U.S. and Canada. You can see it on ESPN2. Zeros are on the scoreboard there. North Carolina and BC have scored several. Less than half to go in the first half, and the Tar Heels on the road. Chestnut Hill lead 25-18. Jay Williams is in the house. We'll have the halftime report with he and Seth Greenberg.
All right, Carl, 2-point game here. Last time Jimmy and I were here in Oxford, came down to the end. Chris Warren, 25-footer over a couple defenders, rattled home with 2.9 remaining. Ole Miss, 71-69. He had 22 points. Deron Land missed a running three-pointer at the buzzer. 71-69. In fact, Ole Miss, 2 of their 13 career wins over Kentucky have come in the last 6 games. And that, of course, is over the time that Andy Kennedy's been here.
Remember, we talked about the importance of this ball game for Kentucky. How about Ole Miss? They have Kentucky tonight, and they go at Florida on Saturday. If they were to win both of those ball games, they become a top 10 team, and now they can turn their attention to where are we going to be seated in the NCAA tournament. They would take control of the SEC after this week.
If that happened, they'd be 19-2 and 8-0 in conference play. Big ifs so far.
Yeah, they're going to go into a O-Dome filled with the rowdy reptiles. In Florida, to me, when I just watch games right now, Florida and Michigan are playing the best basketball of anyone out there.
Anderson, little stutter move and a fadeaway, and he's going to go back to the free throw line because Polson picks up his second foul. That's 10 team fouls on Kentucky.
Now, this kid has explosion into his jump shot and a little bit of a lean back that makes it very difficult to block and to bother. He has a unique shot. It almost touches the front of his forehead, and he shoots it the same way every time. He said his grandfather and father coached him from first grade through high school, and they taught him that stroke when he was in about second grade. His
dad, Willie, coached him at high school. He said his senior season was miserable. He had to get out of the house being coached by his dad. Most guys say, I loved it. My dad was my coach. This guy's a little different cat. Missed the second free throw. 2-point lead again. Wiltshire is going to take it for 3. And Henderson got a rebound. Double teamed immediately by Kentucky. Now they try to get it back to him in the lane, up and under, and out. Olsen with the rebound.
When Ole Miss continues to miss those 6, 7, 8 footers that I think you have to make a handful of them against Kentucky.
The last break before those couple of shots, they were shooting 18% from the floor. Ole Miss. Yet they lead by 2 with 11 minutes to go in the first half. Wiltshire, straightaway look, buries it, and there's a foul. Three-pointer by Wiltshire's given Kentucky the lead back and a foul.
Well, John Calipari saw that Murphy Holloway was guarding Wiltshire, so he calls his number and runs him off of the screen. Now watch Wiltshire's going to come with this action right here. There's a down screen by Polson. Boom. And this foul, and shot occurred at the same time. Count the basket. Kentucky ball.
So a chance for a 5-point possession here for the Wildcats. The foul on Holloway was his second, by the way. And Buckner's got 2 as well. So we've got some foul issues on both teams with a long ways to go on this Super Tuesday Part 2.
Kentucky trying to grind it right now. They're into their power action.
Good one. And he had it blocked underneath. Noel goes back up, and we get another foul in the paint.
Hey guys, Brad, Jimmy, in that last timeout in the last huddle, Andy Kennedy grabbed the stat sheet. You can see him doing it right there. And what he circled for the guys was their field goal percentage. At the time, it was 3 of 17. Right now, 3 of 18, pointing that out to his players.
Terrible shooting as Noel adds to the Kentucky lead with his first point. And Andy's got as many problems as John does as far as foul trouble. Buckner picking up his 3rd foul.
Brad, Andy Kennedy can circle that number all he wants, but in Marshall Henderson's mind, he hasn't missed a shot yet in this game.
That's true.
That's how he thinks. That's what you're up against with 22 in white.
Yeah, a lane violation. And that's going to give Nerlens Noel another opportunity here.
Nerlens Noel is NBA ready in my estimation. You could put him in an NBA game tomorrow night and he would impact the game defensively and as a shot blocker.
You put him at the free throw line, he's Dwight Howard, though.
Yeah,
58%.
Yep. But he has something he can do right now in that league. The other freshmen, to me, they're not ready. And if they leave early, I'm talking about Goodwin and Poitras and Stein, they would get drafted, in my opinion, but they would also end up in the D League. Those 3 guys are not ready to make the jump like Kentucky's freshmen were last year.
I totally agree. Shot over Noel. And lost on the baseline by John Hood. Will be Ole Miss ball out of bounds with a fresh shot clock.
Kentucky's guarding in this game. The only area that they need to shore up is off the bounce and deleting those straight line drives. I tell you what, their position defense is good and they're showing some fight.
White around a pick. Little teardrop rimmed out. Battle for the rebound. Who's going to win it? Ole Miss does. Comes back out to Jarvis Summers at the point. Henderson running around everybody. Trying to get an open look, and I think he drew a foul by Hood.
Brad, that's the problem that Marshall Henderson puts you in. You start switching out no matter where he is on the floor. Any headhunter screen action that he runs through, Kentucky switching out on it, and eventually Marshall Henderson is going to have an advantage.
Back to the free throw line again, where he has missed a couple but hit 6 already.
Told me he scored 58 points in the 3rd grade championship game.
And they put the Marshall Law in there?
Yeah, the Marshall Law. You know what the Marshall Law is back in his hometown?
No.
In the 1st and 2nd grade Pee Wee division, you can no longer shoot 3-point shots because he killed them when he was in the 1st and 2nd grade from 3.
Most guys that little can't shoot from outside the arc. Here's a guy that can, and he's backing in. Wilcher's got to leave it. Polson leaves it for Nerlens Noel, and he's fouled. And I think it's going to be on Holloway. If so, no, it's not. It's Ladarius White, and luckily for Andy Kennedy, because if it would have been Holloway, both big guys would have had 3.
Nerlens Noel, again, he stays away from the basketball as it's driven towards him. Therefore, he can catch and step in. If he would have been attracted to the ball, Brad, he wouldn't have been able to step in to a power move. That's very well done by Nerlens Noel off of a drive action.
Again, he's not making the Rebels pay from the free throw line. Hit his first one and has missed his last 3.
Gets that thing above his head on the release. That's not what you want from a big kid shooting the ball.
Anderson leaves it off, and yet stripped away. Wilcher with the steal. And a nice pass to Polson on the break. Wow. Good looking dish by Wilcher.
If Kentucky has one guy that makes others better on offense, it's Kyle Wilcher. He's the only guy that can make a play for someone else. He's a 6'11" dude.
White in the paint, got it.
I think that's the first one just outside the box that you have to make against Kentucky because of the front rim protection that Nerlens Noel will throw at you.
Noel, tough rebound over two Ole Miss players in a collision. Everybody hits the deck, and Jim Burr is going to clean this one up for us. NBA Wednesday presented by State Farm. LeBron and the Heat take on the Nets at 10:30. Phoenix and the Lakers. Steve Nash's return. Coverage tips off Kia NBA Countdown at 7:30 tomorrow night. Archie Goodwin to the free throw line. Hit his first two, his only points of the night so far.
I talked about Goodwin, Brad, not being ready to make a roster at the NBA right now. When we've seen things change during the month of March, guys get hot and get drafted and they stick. But Archie Goodwin tonight is a right-handed dominant driver. He doesn't drive it for others, and he's shooting 7% from the three-point line in the SEC. None of that equates to me as a guy that's going to make a roster next year.
Hopefully he knows that. Or maybe somebody will disagree with you.
It depends on who's in his ear. That's what your biggest concern is.
Williams, tough shot over Poitras. Hood with a rebound. Kentucky by 2. Looking to add to it. Goodwin will try a triple. Well, there's what Jimmy was talking about. Noel. Second shot goes for Summers, who's stuck with it.
And Brad, that's on everybody else for Kentucky except Nerlens Noel. They continue to give up 8, 9, 10 points a game by not cleaning up what Nerlens Noel goes after and misses.
Under the 8-minute mark, tied at 19. Goodwin throws one up there. Brutus picks up his second foul. Timeout, 7:48. Andy Kennedy's team tied up with Kentucky. He'll talk with Shannon as soon as we come back.
For your guys.
19-19, 7:48 remaining in the first half. Kentucky and Ole Miss deadlocked here and have been 6 times tonight already. Marshall Henderson off the mark from the floor tonight. Most of his scoring has come from the free throw line. He's had some decent looks. Hasn't had a 3 yet. Came in leading the conference with 74 3-pointers. But as Jimmy said, that's not going to matter to him. He's going to keep shooting, and when they do start dropping, look out. And he remains on the bench with 9 points and a 1 out of 5 from the floor night.
Kentucky's making him work, though, and what the presence of Henderson on the floor has done to Kentucky's defense has really made them overextend in pressure. And Ole Miss is driving the ball with that pressure, and as a result, they've been in the double bonus the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Goodwin's first miss from the free throw line.
But this kid right there now, he has rise and snap it off at the top ability as quick as anyone in college basketball. He and Rodney Clark, to me, from Butler, they shoot it quicker than anyone else in the game.
Kentucky back in front by 1, courtesy of that second free throw by Archie Goodwin.
Brad, without Henderson on the floor, Kentucky's going to go zone every time. At least they should.
White's probably their best scorer on the floor right now. And the pass in the paint is not only knocked away, but then adding to it, Nick Williams picks up another foul.
That was great zone defense by Kentucky. Nerlens Noel at the center of the zone was really talking. He was talking early, loud, and constant as a defender. Talking guys through the action was out in front of him. Very well done.
Apologize for not having Andy Kennedy coming out of that timeout. We had some technical issues over there in the Ole Miss huddle with Shannon during the break. Nerlens Noel is really struggling from the free throw line. And that's, we were talking about, Jimmy says he's got a skill set that can go to the NBA right now, but when you're 6'10", it's nice if you can shoot free throws. Shaq couldn't shoot free throws. Dwight Howard can't shoot free throws, but he can block shots.
He can. Watch where the ball gets. It gets on top of his flat top, and that should not be the launch point. Watch where he brings this ball, Brad. See that? It got up above his head. That's something that he's going to have to get a better groove on and work on as he grows.
He's officially listed at 1 out of 6 from the free throw line, but he also had one with a lane violation, so he's missed all of them after hitting his first one. Henderson missed a 3. Here's White on a runner. Tough shot. Ladarius White, and he's been the #1 scorer tonight for Ole Miss, and averaging less than 5 points a game.
Brad, that's the second make for Ole Miss just outside the box, and 6 or 7 of them a game. You have to have the ability to knock down.
As far as field goals tonight, Ladarius White has more than everybody else combined on the Ole Miss team. Good one on a runner. That's tough to defend. Summers puts it up high, trying the same kind of shot, kept alive by Jones. And now Henderson rejected by Noel. He got it right back in his hands. White in the lane. And Noel had it stripped away. Battle for the loose ball. Who's going to win it? Ole Miss comes up. And we got a timeout with a man down on the baseline. And I think it's Ladarius White. He's really had a good game. It is Ladarius, a sophomore, out of Macomb, Mississippi, and he's up and apparently all right.
Ole Miss has taken their fair share of 22% shots in this game. They're going to go in about 22% of the time. Hard shots. And it's all because Nerlens Noel has gotten into the head of these Ole Miss players on the defensive end. Now go inside with Noel not on the floor, huh?
Yeah. Anderson's going to try to spin inside. Tough turnaround jumper.
Just enough of a lean back that he can get it off over a 6'5" defender.
11 for Henderson with 5:49 to go in the half. And Ole Miss back in front. Wilcher dishes underneath to Paulson. Shot blocked underneath by Ole Miss. And they come up with a loose ball. Henderson, long ball. I think Goodwin got a piece of it.
One of the few times that he didn't explode into his jump shot.
Oh, what a move by White. Ladarius White lighten up the night on a white out at Ole Miss.
Brad, he's coming off of a 17-point game over the weekend. So normally the rim looks good to guys at the beginning of the next ball game. And Ladarius White attacking the hips of Kentucky. Their defense has been good in every area other than deleting that straight line drive. And that is a huge problem.
You mentioned coming off a season high 17. And he's on his way to shattering that. White and Henderson have done most of the damage.
And Andy Kennedy has done a good job of putting Ladarius White in left-handed drive spots. That's where he is at his best.
Three-point play, biggest lead of the night for Ole Miss. Henderson and White have 23 of their 26. Big night for Ladarius. We approach 5 minutes, and now the crowd at the Tad Pad is getting involved. And a steal by the Rebels. And they'll pull it out. And now Summers takes it back inside. Ole Miss with its biggest lead, up 6 with just under 5 minutes to go on a 9-2 run.
Well, Martavius Newby just blows up the action. He's the tougher guy as a 50-50 ball as a pass, but Martavius Newby was just tougher. Andy Kennedy told me yesterday twice all season long has he had to coach effort. That was an effort play by Ole Miss on the steal and the cleanup.
Second chance points, first in the conference. We mentioned they don't get a lot of two-pointers. They get points in the paint, they get threes. And right now they're up by 6.
And on the flip side, John Calipari has had to coach effort every day the last 3 months.
Wilcher got a square look at a triple and buried it.
So good, huh? Now the timeout. After timeout points, go back and tally them, break them down. A huge part of every ball game.
Seems like every time you and I do, Kentucky, Wiltz is the leading scorer. He is right now at 10. Henderson draws a double team in a hurry. But he's got an open man in Perez for 3. Noel's going to be fouled by Newby on the rebound. The bad news is, unless Noel finds the range from the free throw line, it may not matter.
And the last time he was at the line, I talked about how he gets the ball too far above his head. You want that thing out in front of you. And you get that thing behind you, now there's extra motion in the shot. His ball goes back before it ever goes forward. That's the extra motion that he needs to eliminate.
I'm sure it's in his head right now.
Yep.
There, he got it. It breaks a long string of misses and cuts the Ole Miss lead to 2. Henderson got up in the air and dropped it off to Summers, and he'll take the jumper. And a foul on Summers as Kentucky was coming out of the pile with a rebound.
I don't think Ole Miss is making Kentucky work defensively now. I mean, they've taken a lot of first side of the floor shots, one-pass shots. And you have to make this young Kentucky team on the road work and prove that they're not going to break down and lose their discipline, and Ole Miss has gotten away from it.
Kentucky as a team has struggled from the free throw line. They are 12th in the conference at under 65%, and they have had an 8 for 17 first half. Harrell makes it a 1-point game.
Andy Kennedy putting his hands up over there, telling his guys to calm down. Does he go to a play call that at least gets 2 or 3 passes? One way to get control of his guys.
White straight up for 3. Hit the back of the iron, kept alive by Aaron Jones, and now Jones offensively with his first basket of the night.
Very quick, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Because Nerlens Noel is cat quick. And there's a blow by.
Good one to get it to Wiltshire. Wiltshire on the drive all the way around, a left hand off the window with a scoop shot. Henderson mid-range jumper trying to draw a foul. He'll take the 2 instead.
Again, another shot attempt by Ole Miss, though, off of one pass. Is that the formula for success against Kentucky tonight? We shall see.
On the baseline, good one. And he's clobbered underneath there by either White or Aaron Jones. It's going to be on Jones. John Calipari is going to talk with Shannon when we come back.
Jay Williams, Seth Greenberger in the house. Our halftime report focuses on Wisconsin, the Buckeyes and Badgers, low-scoring game. Sean Thomas put himself into the Wooden Award conversation, according to Seth. We'll look at his performance. And the Wolfpack got trapped. If Mark Gottfried could make some layups, you never know how this would turn out for NC State. Virginia, though, in a validation test, unvalidated.
Carl, we'll see you guys in 2 minutes, 35 seconds, 32-29. Ole Miss in front. Shannon talked to John Calipari during the break.
Coach, Ole Miss went on a little bit of a run before that last timeout. What'd you say to your guys in the huddle?
Well, we one-handed the ball on the baseline. we leave our feet coming back. I said, you can't do those kind of errors. But our thing right now, you got to make free throws. We make free throws, the game's a little different. I'm proud of how they're playing. They're fighting their butts off.
What are they doing well against Henderson right now?
Well, the biggest thing for us is we're not rebounding their misses. So we're doing a great job on the first defensive stop, but anything that goes over our big guy's head, they're jamming them under. We're not getting balls.
Thanks, Coach.
50% from the free throw line right now, 9 out of 18. So as Cal said, that would make a big difference if they hit some of their free throws.
Ole Miss getting 40% of their misses back in this ball game. That's an alarmingly high rate that Kentucky's given up. And that continues to be one of the problems for Cal is Nerlens Noel is going after everything. So he gets himself out of defensive rebounding position trying to block shots, and the other guys are not rotating down.
Another missed free throw. And I was just going to say that Archie Goodwin, at least up to that point, was 4 out of 5 and was helping the cause from the stripe. And he misses one. And in fact, has missed 2 of his last 3 now. 2-point game. 8 points for Goodwin. Wilcher leads Kentucky with 12. Henderson fades away, baseline, tough shot, wouldn't go. He might get the rebound back, and he will. Loose ball in the corner. He's going straight up with it. Got it for 3. 16 for Henderson. His first three-pointer of the night. And the 75th of the year. Olsen had a little trouble on the dribble against Millinghouse. Oh, what a drive by Goodwin on the baseline. Henderson draws a double team, works it inside and tries a shot anyway and had it stuffed in his face. Kentucky coming back. This could tie it, and does.
Now, what is Kentucky doing to Ole Miss? They're getting to that third or fourth pass in the possession, and Ole Miss continues to not do it.
So Wilcher with 3 threes in the first half. That last one has tied it at 35.
Marshall Henderson going that direction when his right hand is coming around and squaring up off that left foot. He shoots about 20 percentage points higher. And Archie Goodwin with the rack attack, but that was on the third pass of the possession for Kentucky. Kentucky's moving the ball, making Ole Miss work defensively. Ole Miss is not doing the same thing to Kentucky.
7th tie of the ball game, even at 35 with 1:17 remaining. ESPN College Basketball available live anytime, anywhere on your computer, tablet, or smartphone at watchespn.com and with the Watch ESPN app. With Jimmy Dykes and Shannon Spake, Brad Nessler with you from Tad Smith Coliseum in Oxford, Mississippi. Biggest game in this building in a long time. And it's given us everything we expected so far, 35-35. There's the leading scorer in the conference, and he's got 16 points. And we still have 1:17 remaining in the first half.
Brad, he's getting up 11 three-point shots per game, Marshall Henderson is. He's shooting 41% from 3 when his outside shoulder is the right shoulder. 21% when it's the left shoulder. That's the difference he is on one side of the floor to the other.
He's only got 1 3 tonight, but he's made up with it with 3 2-pointers and a bunch of free throws. White, he's been the other big scorer in the first half, and he's got 16. Well, Darius White must have walked in here tonight, seen all the white T-shirts, and said, "Hey, is this for me?" Mays trying to answer with a triple of his own. And another steal underneath and an easy deuce by Wilcher.
Kyle Wilcher has great hands. Great hands as a passer, soft hands as a shooter.
17 first half points by Wilcher. Ole Miss playing for 1 here.
When we go to Marshall Henderson, that's if he does, the ball is going to be shot. Andy Kenny's the only guy that can keep Henderson from getting a shot off right now.
Way out from three-point land. Hood got the rebound. Kentucky might have a shot here. Wilcher. And Kentucky's going to go to the locker room trailing by 1. They haven't won a game this year when they've been down. Ole Miss hasn't lost a game when they've been up. And they're up right now. White and Henderson, 31 of the 38 points. As Ole Miss heads to the locker room with a lead at home. Trying to hold on to the number 16 ranking and trying to go to the top of the field in the SEC by themselves. That guy's led the way along with Ladarius White. 38-37 as we go to the UPS halftime report. Here's Carl.
Hi, Brad. Thank you very much and welcome inside everyone. The halftime report, Virginia and NC State. A little earlier, you'll see Joe Harris, his team hosting these Wolfpack team that just beat North Carolina. First half, they're down 17-11 off the turnover. Harris will end up behind that three-point line, and he'll knock it down, Jay Williams.
Harris, one of the top three-point shooters like Scott Wood in the ACC. You have to find him in transition.
Wolfpack work the boards here, Seth.
Richard Howell, he's like Pac-Man. He just gobbles up rebounds, and he finds my main man, Calvin, for the putback.
You're calling him Calvin now, huh?
Well, when he scores, he's Calvin. When he misses, he's CJ.
Wolfpack by 8. Mike Tobey will get the ball inside. He'll score.
Nice inside screen right there. Good execution by UVA.
And this was a game of limited possessions, which forced NC State to execute in the half-court set.
Mitchell had a good game. He went for a double-double. Scott Wood had a chance to tie it. It doesn't drop. And Virginia knocks off NC State the game after NC State beat Carolina. They have a history of losing those games. Once you beat Carolina, their next ACC game, they lose. And they're not traveling well here, as you can see. Different team on the road.
I think Virginia controlled the tempo of the basketball game where their offense did a great job in defensive transition. And let's remember, no Lorenzo Brown. A different NC State basketball team.
All right, Seth Greenberg, Jay Williams, let's look at the first half of our game. We talked so much about the shooting, and I think he's, 1 for 6 from three-point land? Does he have a three-pointer yet?
Marshall, he has one. The 1-3 on the left-hand side off the curl.
All right, so you think Kentucky's playing a good game here?
I think they are. I think Kentucky is in the fight right now. And this was a basketball team. Their back was against the wall. And I like the fact that they're patient in their half-court sets. They're moving the ball around from side to side, 4 or 5 passes. They're shooting 48%, and they're being patient. They're not getting involved in the run-and-gun game of Ole Miss. And one of the things I see, a lot of people talk about how do we guard Marshall Henderson. Make Marshall Henderson guard somebody else. The guy stands up on defense. I would love to see Julius Mays or Archie Goodwin actually attack him, try to get him in foul trouble.
Kentucky's got to finish possessions. They've got to make free throws. But if I'm Cal, I feel pretty good about my basketball team for this one reason. They finally showed some stick-to-itiveness and toughness. They played through their mistakes. Ole Miss made that run a week ago. Kentucky melts. This week, they faced a challenge. They stayed together. They continued to compete, and they did. They ran some pretty good offense. And Kyle Wilcher, he doesn't defend, but he has to be on the court because he can make shots.
And the one thing that Kentucky has to do, Nerlens Noel needs to stop leaving his man trying to block every single shot. Ole Miss has 14 offensive boards in the first half.
A lot of body language, too, from Kentucky. Frustration.
That's a young basketball team. Physically, they're not tough enough, but they are competing.
It'd be like somebody calling you like Seth Greenstein instead of Greenberg, like Archie
Griffin.
Griffin.
Been in the gym a lot. Have you seen this guy?
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Ole Miss did a great job on Archie Griffin.
Yeah.
They didn't do too good a job on Archie Goodwin, though.
By mistake, a rare Seth Greenberg mistake, called Archie Goodwin Archie Griffin. And the Twitter universe exploded. So we've clarified that. You know it's
Sorry, Big Blue Nation.
Scary moment for a North Carolina Tar Heel. We'll have that story as Super Tuesday coverage continues.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. Now that's better.
6 fouls, partner, in the first half. It was as rugged as we expected it to be, I guess.
That's how many they called. They could have called about 10 or 12 more. Look at Kentucky right now, Brad. 10 out of 20 from the free throw stripe. Right. So they're lucky to be where they are right now. And for Ole Miss, 19 more shots in this ball game. But Nerlens Noel has really gotten into Marshall Henderson.
This was a timeout with 1:17 remaining. And he said, sub me out, it looks like he said. Then don't play me. Some volatile reactions with 1:17 remaining in the first half. And now his teammates come over and say, Marshall, you're our leading scorer. We might need you. And then Andy Kennedy joined the fray, grabbed his jersey, and had some words to say. What were those words? Shannon talked with Andy. Shannon?
Well, Brad, we've been talking about Henderson's edge the last couple days, and Andy Kennedy said that it's that edge that makes him successful. When I asked him about that confrontation in the first half, he told me Henderson is emotional, and when they're in foul trouble, he feels like he needs to do everything on that court, everything offensively. He told me he just needs to have Henderson settle down, and he'll be fine.
I'm not sure either one of these teams can settle down as far as the foul trouble, because we've got a bunch. And here we go, second half. Big game for both teams. Ole Miss at 6-0. Their best start ever at 17-2. And they go right to the rack to start the second half. And Noel, if he didn't block the shot, he altered it. He had 5 blocks in the first half. Wiltshire, their leading scorer. And he's fouled. Wiltshire had 17 to lead all Wildcats in scoring.
Nerlens Noel, he changes things. Like I tell my buddies back in Arkansas when they go hunting, it'd be a different deal if the bear had a gun too. And Nerlens Noel, he is into the mind right now of Ole Miss offensively.
It definitely makes you change how you pull the trigger in the gun.
It does. They go right at him to start the half. And Nerlens Noel, Brad, so good. I said it last week. He doesn't block shots because he gets beat. He blocks shots because he's in the right position. Very similar to what Anthony Davis did.
Even Wiltshire missing free throws, as Kentucky was 50% from the free throw line in the first half, 10 out of 20. But Wiltshire's bucket does tie it up for the 8th time tonight at 38-38. White, he was the other star in the first half, and an offensive foul on White.
It's that position defense I'm talking about with Nerlens Noel. Right spot at the right time. Easy call.
These two guys have led the way. 31 of their 38 first half points. And Ladarius White coming off a season high of 17, and he's just a couple points shy of that. And he would have had it on that last drive had he been able to get to the free throw line, but he's called for the offensive foul, so he's got 2. Goodwin, nice drive, finger roll. Archie Goodwin.
Also, Brett, all set up by the on-ball action of Kyle Wiltshire, because you have to stay attached to him. That puts Goodwin one-on-one.
And here's Harrow picking up his 3rd foul. So we're up to 29 fouls in the ball game.
John Calipari's best offense is involving Kyle Wiltshire in screening action. There's the screen. And because he is such a weapon, that secondary defender is not quite as quick rotating over.
Jones got a good look over Noel, who was sort of flat-footed for the first time tonight, but he hit the back of the rim. And Poitras coming the other way. Poitras, who hasn't been that effective because of his early foul trouble, but he's got a chance here for a 3-point play. And Jones, who's not even a starter, has 3 fouls for Ole Miss. We have a tornado watch in the area of Oxford, Mississippi right now until about 1 o'clock this morning. We keep having this many fouls called. We're going to be here till 1 o'clock in the morning.
It will pass over, won't it?
We hope so.
You and I are going to be driving right through it after this game. Look forward to that drive.
The way you sing, I always do. 5-point lead's the biggest of the night for Kentucky. Nick Williams leaning back. His first field goal.
Well, he didn't go towards the rim, though, did he? He had to make a away from the rim jump shot because of Noel's presence.
Wiltshire caught a skip pass and knocks down a 3.
Shoots it with ease. When Marshall Henderson explodes into his shot, he just barely gets a lift. Look at the difference.
Same result. Different approach.
In his mind, he didn't go 1 for 7 from the 3-point line. He has no conscience.
Wiltshire trying to answer a little heat check, and that didn't go. Kentucky by 3. There's a little avenue for Jarvis Summers. Ole Miss has got it back to 1.
Calipari slows it down. He knows he needs to get to the 4th or 5th pass and let Ole Miss break down defensively.
Wiltshire, they want to get it in his hands. Triple goes again. Career high tying 24 for Kyle Wiltshire.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. The top 4 shooters percentage-wise in college ball between 6'7" and 6'11". Wilcher shoots above 40%. He shoots it. A very repeatable, easy shot for him to take.
Drive whistle before the shot.
The difference between two legitimate shooters in this game, their form. Marshall Henderson explodes. Watch how he, bam, explodes into his shot. I mean, big time explosion. But on the other end, Kyle Wilcher, watch his lift. Very minimal. Just off of his tiptoes, but an easy release for both young men.
Look like Ray Allen shooting a three compared to Dirk Nowitzki shooting a three.
Yeah, Henderson fights the shot a little bit more than Wilcher, but they both have supreme confidence in their stroke, although they're different.
Murphy Holloway, who hasn't scored yet, now he has. That's his first point of the night. A guy averaging almost 15 a game. On the drive, Mays found a wide open lane.
See, Brad, again, it's all because of Kyle Wilcher. The guy guarding Wilcher is hesitant to leave and choke that drive off.
Shot off the window, no good. Scramble, everybody hits the deck. And I think Kentucky got a timeout called by Mays that will keep the basketball in the Wildcats' hands. They lead by 5 with 16:41 remaining. Kentucky 51-46. They've taken the lead 5 out of 6 from the floor to open up the second half.
Well, it's all starting on the offensive end with the presence of Kyle Wilcher. He's going to deliver the basketball and go set the screen, but then watch what happens after he sets the screen. There's the on-ball screen. Now freeze it right here, guys. Watch this foot take one step because he respects the ability of Kyle Wilcher to be a throwback threat. Boom, there's the step, and that step towards Wilcher allows Julius Mays to go downhill. The value of Kyle Wilcher on the floor, Brad. Gap angles, gap attacks, shot threat, playmaker. He's the guy.
He's got all their threes as well right now. 5 of them. His career high 7. And I mentioned he's matched his career high in scoring with 24. Previous best a year ago December against Loyola, the other 24-point night. I'm sure he's not done this evening. We've got 16 and a half minutes to go. Switch off. Wilcher got it back, and there's the career high. 26 for Wilcher.
They are just shredding Ole Miss through the action of Kyle Wilcher.
The shot taken over Wilcher and Noel. Holloway gets it back. He'll try again, and it's rejected by Noel.
John Calipari changing the screening angle by Kyle Wilcher. Hold it, guys. He comes up, and now he's going to go to this angle. And watch what happens. He delivers the wood to Marshall Henderson, and now it's a pick and roll action. And normally this is a pick and pop guy, but he has Ole Miss guessing where he's moving out of the action.
And Noel's going to be called for a foul, trying to strip the ball away from behind. And that'll be his second. But he's got 40 blocks in the last 6 games. And it's a 53-46 ball game. Biggest lead of the night for Kentucky. They're up 7 with 15:59 to go. And the reason, a career high by Kyle Wilcher, 26, Jimmy.
Well, when you have size, 6'10", 240, and a stroke, then you become hard to guard. And you should be the best screener on the floor, and Kyle Wilcher has become their best screener. Now, what else is he doing? He's playing with a beautiful pace in this game, Brad. Ole Miss cannot speed this guy up, and he doesn't have great speed, but now the screening action is starting to be very difficult for Andy Kennedy to check in this game.
Summers on a runner. Tough shot by Jarvis Summers. He's got 8.
Now they go to their smash action out of the timeout. But their point guard get in the box.
Little 3-quarter court pressure, but Poitras is all alone. Place has gotten quiet now with a sellout crowd of over 9,000. And Noel picks up another cheap foul, trying to come up with a steal. He leads the team in steals, second in the conference. And, of course, first in block shots.
And seldom gets in foul trouble. He has a 3 blocks to 1 foul ratio going this year, but that time that was a lazy reach by number 3.
We got an earful from John Calipari heading to the bench, too.
He's too valuable. Willie Cauley-Stein can't play. He's too valuable to make that foul.
Up and under. Nice move by Murphy Holloway.
What does Ole Miss do?
Go right to where Noel wasn't.
And when the basket was made, John Calipari turned to Nerlens Noel and said, "That basket's on you."
Mays gets it down low to Poitras, who throws it off the window.
Oh, he's playing like a grown man to start this second half.
And again, Holloway with a finger roll. This one just came out, but nobody was there to stop him. Poitras. Put back by Goodwin.
Well, I tell you what, Ole Miss's get-back defense is not getting back.
Andy Kennedy's seen enough.
Yep.
Biggest lead of the night for Kentucky. 9 points. With 14:31 remaining.
Partner, a huge opportunity for Kentucky tonight. No top 50 wins on their resume. And counting tonight, they only have 4 opportunities left on their regular season schedule.
Ole Miss with Holloway, who didn't score in the first half, just going up and under. There's no Nerlens Noel to get in his way, and Poitras couldn't do much either. And that's what Jimmy was talking about, saying, okay, Nerlens, that was a 2 because of your 3rd foul. Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Well, that's the problem that Kentucky has right now with an RPI of 61 and no top 50 wins, only 2 in the top 100. So what are their opportunities? They get Florida twice, they get Missouri once, and they get Ole Miss. So this would be a huge, huge boost to their run at an NCAA berth tonight.
Kentucky has opened up this half, the last 5.5 minutes. 9 out of 11 from the floor. Holloway with Noel right back in there, and he followed the shot Aaron Jones did. And Nerlens Noel nearly picked up number 4.
What Calipari tells Shannon in the first half, our inability to clean up the miss. And once again, Archie Goodwin's looking at the ball instead of trying to find a jersey and set the rules of how the game's going to be played in the second half on the boards.
Aaron Jones, 4 points on the night. A chance for a 3-point play, which would be big right here. Again, a little bit of backcourt pressure from the Rebels. Mays runs into Nick Williams, his 3rd. ESPN's Journey to the Tourney. Saturday, Trey Burke. The Wolverines take on Cody Zeller, number 3 Hoosiers. Michigan, Indiana, Saturday at 9 on ESPN.
See a little Victor Oladipo on Hardaway Jr. Wow, what a matchup.
Mays got an open 3, buried it.
A really good screen by Nerlens Noel. And a good play call by Cal.
This thing is slipping away from Ole Miss right now. Still a lot of time, but they're down 10. Nice turnaround shot by Ladarius White, and he matches his season high with 17. Wiltshire all the way to the rack. Underneath, second miss by Kentucky. They had chances from a couple feet out. White got smacked in the face by Goodwin. No whistle on that one. And he had it stripped trying to drive. Mays and Harrell run together. And an easy lay-in for Ryan Harrell.
Cal's kids are showing some fight tonight. And they have been consistent with their fight. Hasn't been beautifully executed, but their fight ratio has been better than Ole Miss's so far.
Holloway zips off. A jumper with the left hand. His 5 points have come in this half.
Watch Nerlens Noel right there, just It's a moving screen, but you're going to get away with it, Brad, as the low guy against the zone. He's just backing out like he's getting into position, but the whole time he was setting the moving screen for Julius Mays.
Marshall Henderson is back in. He's been out quite a while to open up this second half. They're going to need all of his scoring and then some. Poitras knocks down a three. What a half so far for Alex Poitras.
Yeah, he needs more shots. He's still only taking 6 shots a game, but his percentages are off the charts.
Summers, tough shot, rims out. Poitras with a rebound. On the outlet to Harrow, and ahead to Goodwin. And he beat Henderson to the rim. And Henderson will pick up the foul.
You've heard me say it before over the years. The bad shot bone is connected to the bad transition defense bone. And that was a bad shot by Ole Miss. Another hard shot after one pass. And as a result, your get-back defense is not ready.
Archie Goodwin, a 14-point night so far. The lead swells to 12.
When he gets that ball up with some arch.
No pun intended.
Right. His percentages go up 25-30%. When he shoots it flat, there is no margin for error.
Check Archie's arch this time. A little better.
Jared Olson checks in for Kentucky.
69-56 in a game that Ole Miss led at halftime by 1. Almost a walk by Holloway. Got it to Ladarius White, and White. Noel had to let that one go because I think he thought it was going to be a goaltending. Now the battle on the baseline is won by Wiltshire.
Jared Polson stuck his nose in there and just ripped it out. They better find Wiltshire now. That's too late.
Luckily for him, it didn't go in, but that one will.
Wow, grown man's rebound by Alex Poitras. And this young Kentucky team is growing up in the second half in Oxford.
Not easy to do it on the road. And right now, they've got a big advantage with 11:27 to go. Second half shooting 5 out of 6 for Poitras. 71-56, all Kentucky right now.
Back in our college basketball studios, you see the score. United States and Canada, zeros there. North Carolina over BC on ESPNU. P.J. Hairston, who we showed you earlier, taken off on a stretcher, has been diagnosed with a concussion. He actually hit his head on the elbow of a teammate, did not hit it on the floor, but he suffered whiplash as a result of trying to prevent his head from hitting the floor. Apparently not being taken to the hospital, according to UNC spokesman, because he showed signs of improvement.
All right, Bob, thanks for the update. 15-point lead, Kentucky. We check in with Shannon.
Well, Brad, Andy Kennedy did not bring his board into that huddle. His message was very simple. There were no plays. It was just, we have to guard. He pointed out the 72% field goal percentage for Kentucky in the second half, and he just said, they're killing us. We have to get some stops.
Indeed they are. After having kind of a slow first half, 72% from the floor, and they need all they can get from that guy, number 22, the leading scorer in the conference, who leads the way for them with 19. Ladarius White's got 17, but they need offense in the next 11 minutes, or their biggest game in a long time on their home floor is going to go to the Wildcats, who just got another steal. And Wiltshire comes out of the pile with it. To Poitras, who's had a huge second half. And a whistle and a foul on Ladarius White.
Ole Miss continuing to try to make plays in a crowd. And the length and the long arms of Kentucky just continues to bother him.
Trying to lob it into Morrell. Almost a steal for the Rebels. Buckner had his hands on it, couldn't hold it. Olsen right now playing the point for Kentucky.
Get Wiltshire back in the screen. You know, that was working for him.
Poitras airmails a three to the backside. to Murphy Holloway. And Holloway trying to lay it in on the other end. And the ball out of bounds to Ole Miss. That last rebound by Murphy Holloway just passed Walter Ackwood for the school record for rebounds. 946. He has been a horse. He's the #1 active rebounder in the Southeastern Conference.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him in an NFL training camp next year as a defensive end with some shoulder pads on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they look like.
6'7", 240. It's perfect. White and a runner through the lane over Wiltshire, but Mays will clear it ahead. Harrow on the run. Goodwin keeps it alive and scores.
Boy, Goodwin has played like a warrior. He and Poitras both. One of their better games in terms of a combination between Poitras and Goodwin tonight.
Now midway through the second half, Ole Miss is in some deep trouble. Down 17. Summers fadeaway to jumper, doesn't get the roll. Holloway came down with it and then was fouled by Noel. That's 4.
Brad, if Ole Miss is going to make a run, it has to start right now with Nerlens Noel on the bench. The front of the rim will now be opened up. Nerlens Noel takes a shot. Boom, right there.
And on the chin on that first rebound. Yep. Underneath. Henderson forces one. Followed by Buckner. That's the difference when Noel's in there or out of there.
How much of a run can they make before John Calipari comes back with Nerlens Noel? This is where the game will be decided right now.
And the fans are very aware of that. Wide open look for Mays. Rebound is all Buckner's. Buckner, by the way, is the #2 active rebounder in the SEC.
This could be Buckner and Holloway time in terms of the offensive glass.
Anderson wisely puts it inside as they work against Welcher. And knocked out of bounds. It'll be Ole Miss ball.
Kyle Wilcher now has a lot of pressure on him as an inside defender and a rebounder, and he just gets moved out of the way by Reginald Buckner. And how can Kentucky hold up on the road without Mr. Noel?
But there's White taking it to the window. Got it.
Another shot that would have been altered or changed without the presence of #3.
But Darius White, a season high, 19 points. Ole Miss gets it back to 13. Mays with Henderson on him, and an offensive foul on Mays. He pushed off.
Now Kentucky had gone back to Kyle Wilcher, setting the screen in the pick and pop action. But Julius Mays gets frustrated by Henderson and gets that arm extended with a push off because Wilcher was wide open on the throwback.
Noel's right back in there. So it didn't take long to put Nerlens Noel back on the floor. And this might put the ball in the hands of Henderson instead from the outside. This place would come unglued if he knocks down a 3. Well, he got through everybody, but missed it too. And Noel immediately, with his presence felt with a rebound. Wilcher, 3. White way up for the rebound. He landed kind of funny, but I guess he's okay. Big board.
If you're Ole Miss, you've got to go at Nerlens Noel.
Try to get the 5th foul under the 8-minute mark.
They're not moving Noel at all. He just camped out in front of that rim.
Now it's Holloway going up off the window as actually Goodwin and Noel got tangled up and went down together. They cut it from 17 to 11. .7:32 remaining.
Ole Miss goes to their smash action They run Archie Goodwin to the block and smash the ball inside to Murphy Holloway. And you're right, Nerlens Noel got his feet hung up. Hard to block the shot when you're sitting on your rear end.
Yeah. Marshall Henderson only has 1 field goal in the second half. 19 points for the game. But Goodwin's done a nice job. They've run him all over the floor, but he's run into double teams. He's run into Wiltzer's length. Noel chasing him a little bit there.
Brad, the kid has a ton of endurance. He's made hard shots late in ball games. He has strong leg strength, and Kentucky better keep checking him. They've been physical with Henderson. It's frustrated him some. But you look up in this ball game and what he's done shooting the ball, he's only made 5 out of 17 in this game. But I'm telling you, in his mind, his next 4 or 5 are going down, and Kentucky better realize it.
Goodwin. Jumper over Henderson. Not sure that's the shot John Calipari is looking for.
Why would you take a covered-up jump shot early in the shot clock on the road?
Up 11. This could get it back to single digits for the Rebels. 7 minutes to play. First shot, but it goes by Buckner.
Very patient, Wendy Buckner, knowing that Noel had 4 fouls. So he didn't give it up on the first contact, played through the first contact, and now it's a 9-point game.
And it's an 8-0 run for Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, number 33, Sergeant Summers. His third.
6:40 remaining in the ball game. Reginald Buckner off the window, and it's single digits with 6:40 to go.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. Now that's better.
A lot of energy in the Tad Pad as Ole Miss has cut it to 9. They trail by 17. But an 8-0 run with 6:40 has put them right back in the ball game. Again, foul trouble all over the court for both teams, for that matter. Nerlens Noel playing with 4. Kentucky's missed their last 5 shots, and they've let Ole Miss back in the ballgame.
And what does Ole Miss know? They know that the Bear, he may have a gun, but he only has 1 bullet left. So that whole hunting thing has changed a little bit.
Burrows at the free throw line on a 1-and-1. Last foul was on Summers before the break. And again, the free throw line has been Kentucky's nemesis tonight.
Well, you have to be tough enough to step up and make free throws.
14 out of 26 isn't going to cut it.
Now that's a combination of not good shooting and not tough enough on the road.
Summers, a lot of dribbling, and he goes right at Noel. Smartness.
Brad, they lift the offense. The entire offense was lifted primarily to lift Nerlens Noel, knowing that he's not going to come in and get contact at the rim.
Wiltshire trying to quiet the crowd. Misses a 3. And Poitras, I think, pushed off. It's going back to Ole Miss.
Now the last possession by Ole Miss, everybody's lifted. Look at that. All white jerseys are lifted to get Nerlens Noel up at the elbow. Then on the attack of the rim, Nerlens Noel has to bail out because of 4 fouls.
And now the Rebels are in the 1-and-1. A guy that has shot only 18 free throws all year is at the free throw line, but he has had a whale of a game and a season high of 19 points.
We talked about when Nerlens Noel picked up that 4th foul. What a rebound.
And Holloway underneath. Buckner somehow got the rebound, and Holloway scored.
The game changed when Nerlens Noel picked up his 4th, and Ole Miss has seized the opportunity. Another grown man's rebound to start with by Reginald Buckner. A little chin-to-chin, jaw-to-jaw. Marshall Henderson is the peacemaker of all guys. And it's ball game right now in Oxford.
Murphy Holloway, who didn't score in the first half, has all 9 of his points here in the second stanza. And some big free throws coming up. He's not a good free throw shooter either, but he has hit one of his 2 tonight.
Murphy Holloway said, "It has been forever for Ole Miss to be relevant in basketball. Now we have to stay hungry." That was a hungry rebound.
Was it ever? A 13-0 run by the Rebels. Crowd is deafening right now. We haven't talked about a shot clock all night. 10 to shoot here. And Poitras is fouled en route to the basket. And that's going to be on Murphy Holloway.
Very determined drive out of Alex Poitras. He's playing like most of us thought that he should be playing all season long, especially in this second half.
Wasn't playing up to John Calipari's standards. His dad came to practice a couple days in a row and pulled his son aside and said, "Wait a minute." Yep. And since then, he's been playing like a man possessed. But he missed a free throw and again missed opportunities at the charity stripe. 4-point game, 5.5 to go.
Isn't it good to hear when a kid listens still to his dad?
I like that. And there's the 7th block of the night by Noel. And it was a big one underneath on Holloway.
Well, you'd love to throw this thing inside or drive it inside, score and get a basket on the road.
They haven't scored in a long time.
Well, they turned down Poitras.
Over 5 minutes without a field goal for Kentucky, and it continues. Rebound by Holloway.
They're playing 4-on-4 if Henderson gets to a corner and stands. There's the lift again, trying to bring Noel away from the rim.
If Henderson gets a 3-pointer, this place is going to come unglued. He only has 1 field goal in this half. White, he'll take the 3. And it is unglued. Jimmy, a 16-0 run by Ole Miss.
Yeah, Julius Mays forgets what he's doing defensively. He's guarding a guy that's been hot and knocking down shots. And Julius Mays relaxes for about 1,001. And Ladarius White had time to shoot a bad pass. That's how poor a position Julius Mays was as a defender. Allowed his guy to shoot a bad pass and knock the bottom out of it.
And now Ladarius White's the leading scorer in the ball game for Ole Miss. 16-0 run since Noel's 4th foul.
It's almost like Ole Miss could smell the difference in this building, knowing that Noel had that 4th foul. And everything went to another level. The crowd, their energy, their aggressiveness on the boards. But can Kentucky hold on for a win that they desperately need for their resume?
Or will Ole Miss win their 10th straight ball game? Almost a push out by Harrell. He's going to take a 3. Got it. Ryan Hale, that's only his 12th 3-pointer of the year. And it was 6 minutes plus without a field goal. Huge shot for Kentucky. No foul called on Noel. And now Goodwin goes down, coming into the front court. And we've got an Ole Miss player down as well. And that is Aaron Jones, who was called for the foul. And he's holding his right knee. Nerlens Noel goes up against Holloway, blocks his 7th shot. No foul called there. Kentucky in front by 4. Aaron Jones being helped to the locker room. He's the guy that picked up the foul, and it was hard to see that foul until we had a chance to look at it, Jimmy, on replay during the break.
Well, it's a good call and a hard call. Watch the knee right there. It was right back there is when Jones's knee contacted Goodwin.
And then he pulled up and was helped to the locker room, leaving with 4 fouls. And he's got a good ball game, especially defensively, and it's going to send Goodwin to the free throw line.
Yeah, that was a hard call to make and a hard one to see flying up the floor like that. But if contact adversely affects the dribbler's rhythm, speed, balance, or quickness, it's a foul. And it's always a foul when you trip a guy with a basketball.
Archie Goodwin, 8 out of 10 from the free throw line tonight. He's been the one bright spot from the stripe for Kentucky. And he gives them a little breathing room again, up by 5. Remember, it was a 16-0 run by Ole Miss to cut it to a 1-point game.
Yeah, that was a 16-0 blow to the nose of Kentucky.
Yeah.
And Kentucky has picked himself up off the mat and said, let's fight on.
Anderson's been a non-factor offensively in this half with 1 3-pointer. Here he is on a drive to the basket, trying to leave it underneath Noel. And that is a new career high. 9 block shots by Nerlens Noel.
Brad, 2 back-to-back sensational blocks by Noel, playing with 4 fouls to go straight up and get all ball up top. Watch what he does. Bam.
White. Huge night, but a missed shot on a turnaround jumper.
It's bizarre, again, how quickly Noel can get off the floor.
Wiltshire got him back in. Goes up, under, and has it rejected. Likewise by Buckner. He's the number 2 shot blocker in the SEC.
Calipari likes the isolation of Wiltshire, but you know, Buckner could have kept that ball in bounds. He tried to send a message when a message didn't need to be sent.
3 minutes to play. Harrow hit a big 3 early, and he had his shot rejected by Holloway. Summers through traffic. The give. And I think Wiltshire got a piece of that ball, I guess. Lob underneath. Goodwin got it.
All started by the shot blocking and rim protection of Nerlens Noel. Playing with 4 fouls, he continues to wilt or melt in front of that rim. Erasing automatic 2s.
What was a 1-point game is 8 now. With 2:25 to go. Henderson, long ball. Is going to go to the free throw line for 3.
Brad, 3 times in a row, Ole Miss has gone right at the chin of Nerlens Noel. But he stays in his stance, keeps his body off of guys, and explodes and gets it up top. And then again, the get-back defense of Ole Miss not getting it done.
Career high 9. So he's got 43 in the last 6 games. As Marshall Henderson, other than the 3-pointer early in this half, that's his first point in a long time. And he's a good free throw shooter, but he's pressing a little bit right here.
And it's been a long time since I've seen a young kid with 4 fouls have 3 game-changing blocks at the rim. Noel did it.
Ole Miss is going to take a timeout. So they have 2 remaining with 2:25 left in a 2-possession game. Wednesday night hoops presented by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups at 6. The Fighting Irish host Villanova. And then at 8 o'clock, the Longhorns go on the road to take on Wildcats of Kansas State. Villanova Notre Dame at 6. Texas Kansas State at 8 on ESPN2 and also live on Watch ESPN. Well, Jimmy, with 2:25 remaining, I've had a lot of questions recently with being more than halfway through the season. Where is your jet? We have to tell people we've had it in the hangar.
There it is. This is the first night we back it out. No teams are on the plane yet. We're doing some carpet work up here in this area. And back here by the bathroom, we had a little bit of a problem with a leak, but we've gotten that thing corrected right now. And maybe next week we're going to start putting some teams up there in first class. If I had to guess right now, not much of a guess. Michigan's going to be up there to start with. Indiana, Florida would be up there, but we got to shine that thing up.
Well, we're cleaning out all the stuff behind the seats, too, in the pockets.
Yeah, exactly.
We got a couple of iPads that we've already found, which is good. We're going to put those on eBay.
Coaches and different people on Twitter ask me about where will my team be on the jet. February is when we start putting teams on the jet. This week, we back that thing out and polish it up and stock all the supplies.
This is our last game of January for Super Tuesday, and it's been something else tonight. 9 block shots, and 3 of those came with 4 fouls. It's the kind of defensive presence that he is. But now there's still 2:25 remaining. Long way to go. Ole Miss needs a defensive stop. Hayes had an open 3 and didn't take it, as they're more concerned with using some clock right now than anything else.
Screen by Wiltshire. That's so well done.
But he missed it. And the rebound tipped from Buckner to Holloway. Summers on the dribble. He's got 10 points on the night. White and Henderson have been the 2 leading scorers. Here's Henderson way out for 3. He's got that kind of range, and he just didn't get squared away very well. And a foul on Holloway.
Yeah, those are the shots that Andy Kennedy is going to have to live with this year. He's going to shoot 3 or 4 a game. That's an elevator screen action. The play is designed to get that shot, but you know, Kyle Wiltshire that time recovered just enough to bother the release of Marshall Henderson.
You see he's only 2 out of 10 from outside the arc. And Harrell, 59% free throw shooter, shooting 50% from the stripe tonight.
A potential huge week for John Calipari if he can get a win here, top 50 RPI win, their first one. And then they go to College Station against Texas A&M on Saturday, a game that I'll have on ESPN at 6 o'clock. Is this the week that John Calipari's guys kind of turn the corner and start making a run towards an NCAA tournament berth?
Another block shot, number 10. Good one, going the other way, and he's fouled.
That is just incredible what Nerlens Noel has done with 4 fouls in this ball game. Domination as a rim protector. Moves his feet, stays down, and times it perfectly. As the ball leaves the floor, boom, he leaves the floor. And he's keeping his body off of guys, Brad, with 4 fouls and continuing to block shots because of how long that dude is.
And that just goes to show you that there's a triple-double in that body when he starts to go to the offensive end of the floor, because he's going to get the rebounds, and he's proven now he can go double digits in blocks. He might get 10 assists some night too, or 10 steals. He might do a he might do a quadruple double.
He might do a quadruple double too.
Yes, he might.
You can't play any better with 4 fouls than he has.
He altered that shot, but he didn't get it. And now it's 3-on-1 Kentucky. Harrell, and he's going back to the free throw line. Darius White's going to foul out. One of the best nights that he's had. This is what Jimmy was talking about for Kentucky.
Coming into tonight, Brad, they had 4 opportunities on their regular season schedule to get a top 50 win. Florida twice, Missouri once, and at Ole Miss. And they're getting a minute 5 away from getting one. It'll be the first one on the resume, but it also might be sending a little bit of a message that don't discount Kentucky yet.
We knew this was a team that was going to grow and get better week in and week out. Sometimes there's bumps in the road, and this one had what looked like it was going to be a big bump in the road with that guy with 4 fouls, but he hurdled it, as he's done most of the guys trying to take shots over him tonight. Leads back to 12, minute to play. An attack. Pat Smith Coliseum is starting to empty out. after a crowd of over 9,000 came early and stayed to the final 45 seconds.
John Calipari challenged his guys. Will you fight Marshall Henderson for 40 minutes? Will you fight him for 40 minutes? Check it, yes.
It got down to 73 to 72. So now it's just a matter of the last half minute. Well, the Rebels are going to fall to 6-1. Still the best start they've ever had in conference play for a team that was a preseason pick to finish 7th in the conference. They've proven their mettle, but tonight at home is just not going to be their night.
Now where does Ole Miss go? Because staring them in the eyes of the Florida Gators on Saturday in Gainesville. And sometimes you don't really know who you are until you have to taste your own blood. And Ole Miss came in with 2 losses, but they were feeling really good about themselves. They had a swagger about them. And now their jaw has been jacked. And how will Andy Kennedy's guys respond going forward?
And after a 16-0 run to make it a 1-point game, a 15-1 run by Kentucky has taken that game away from the Rebels. Cross-court pass almost stolen away. 15 seconds remaining. Sports Center is coming up shortly. Of course, it was media day at the Super Bowl, and the guys will have a lot on that. Some interesting comments made by a lot of players. There's another block shot, by the way. That's number 11. Sort of like Nerlens Noel said, take that one with you. Probably the last shot of the night. It is 87 to 74. What a finish for Kentucky after Ole Miss made it quite a game. 87-74 is the final. Stay tuned for post-game reactions from here in Oxford. For right now, we're heading to the Sports Center for Jimmy and Shannon. Brad Nessler, good night.
This is Sports Center.
Hi, and welcome to Sports Center. Kevin Connors, Jay Harris. Just the second time in 113 meetings, Ole Miss was ranked and Kentucky was not. But it appears the Cats did not get the memo.
They did not. Kentucky handing the Rebels their first conference loss and in the process getting the first meaningful win. Let's go back to Ole Miss. Shannon spake with John Calipari after the game.
Coach, you guys were able to overcome foul trouble. You were able to overcome the top scorer in the SEC. How were you guys able to do that today?
Well, first of all, we didn't rebound in the first half, and we didn't make any free throws. We didn't win any 50-50 balls. That's all I said at halftime. If you rebound and beat them to 50-50 balls, listen to this. Make half your free throws. You just can't miss 12 straight. We'll be fine. And they're starting to trust each other. My point guard, Ryan Harrow, was great today. But he's got to play that way every game. We can't have him backing up because it really affects our team.
They were having fun out there, too. And I heard you say pregame that you knew this was going to be a physical game, but you needed it in order to grow.
And enjoy it. Enjoy the physicalness of the game. I thought Alex was great. Alex is they're all making strides. They're all way better than they were a month and a half ago. We're still not together yet. We don't trust. You notice they made a run. Again, we started just jacking balls like it's an easy way out. You got to drive and get fouled.
Big picture, what's the value of this win?
I'm worried about my team getting better, so it was a nice win.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Kevin?
All right, Shannon.